If it isn't wise to stand between a real estate agent and money, imagine what it's like with a bank. Westpac has enough to take over St George because of the profits generated by millions of customer fees. Now its staff have found a new way to remove even more cash from unsuspecting account holders. Charge them for paying credit card monthly debts early. Karen Cooper reports.
I was charged a $35 fee for paying my credit card too early.
Don Wilson has been slugged for being a good customer. He not only paid off his Westpac credit card on time every month, he beat the deadline. But that was just another way for the bank to make a buck.
They told me that virtually I had this window of opportunity for payment and that by paying prior to that, it constituted a missed payment fee.
He's not sure how much he's been stung, but at $35 a month, that's potentially more than $400 a year for making early credit card payments.
I must admit I had been fairly slack in checking my statements, and this may have gone on for who knows how long. But I would certainly advise everyone, particularly that has a Westpac credit card, to certainly have a look at their statements and ensure that they also haven't been hit with a fee which is totally unjust.
Westpac calls its credit card Altitude. Don says it's more like a card with attitude.
The customer service officer I spoke to, I think felt a little embarrassed that policy was in place, and he was actually very quick to offer me reimbursement of that $35.
He's been charged the early fee 6 times but been reimbursed twice after he discovered the fee and complained. Perhaps an admission of guilt.
Very much so, yep.
This fee is even worse than a late payment fee. It's a payment for paying early.
Gerard Brodie of the Consumer Action Law Centre says banks are always finding new ways to get something for nothing off its customers.
Look, we've only had complaints about Westpac so far. I'm not aware of any other banks that might do this similar charge.
But David Ryan says it's only a matter of time before they do. In 20 years working in management for a major bank, he'd often ask why a fee was being introduced or increased, and the answer was always the same.
So that we could remain competitive.
In other words, as soon as one bank does it, the others feel justified to do the same. Now mortgage broker David feels like Westpac has found another way to pick his pockets.
We've had a couple of banks, namely Westpac initially and now St George, with some revisions that have cut the commissions that they're paying to us.
He's told that means cuts in the commissions he gets for introducing new customers to the banks by 35 to 40%. His concern is that to protect their own incomes, mortgage brokers will be forced to go to non-bank lenders, even if it's not in the best interests of their clients.
The customer ends up paying for that through higher interest rates or higher fees and charges at the start of the loan or at the end of the loan.
His advice: read the terms and conditions carefully and check the fees your lender will charge. Gerard Brodie says much the same. Check your bank statements and question any fees.
We encourage all consumers who get charged with default fees to claim a refund.
After all, it worked for Don.
It just angers me that that these corporations, I think, believe that they can sort of instigate a process like this without any sort of repercussions.
Karen Cooper reporting. It's a site